usually is, but still above average. Does this sound any different than the Viking?
I got to put the speakers on and hear you. I'm listening in my portable headset because I'm preparing to fire up a new cooking machine here. So maybe David's on frequency. Are you here?
I hope so, great and wise one. November 9, Papa Victor Foxtrot. The receiver doesn't have the calibration of the transmitter. So I appreciate your enlightenment. This is N9 PVF.
Yeah, that's perfect. Excellent.
Well, I can finally try SSB with this rig, but AM's fine for now, just to get used to it. Everything's running great over here with this. Marvelous.
You left out dialing N9 PVF.
Yeah, W2BTK. So I'm running my new Alinco DX-SR8.
May it serve you well for many centuries.
It's really cool because it's got DX in the number, Billy.
Yep. I got it because it was easy to do what I wanted to do with it, and because it's like the cheapest Alinco that they make, and it has DX in its name. And when Mikey asked me, "Holy crap, what are you running on sideband?" I'll be like, "It's Alinco, bro."
Mikey's head's going to explode.
The PA in this thing is really nice too. It's got two LD Moss. Same. It's like the very modern kind of design, I guess. I don't know. It's got the LD Moss crap going on. You can just pipe right into it. It doesn't care. It doesn't even care what frequency I'm on, as long as I'm on the right band, so it goes through the right filter.
Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Hello. Check this tuning. All right, that ain't playing.
What?
So, do I have it? So, gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. I hope you plan to have a very nice Saturday, because the weather's going to get yucky tomorrow. Sunday, pardon me. I'm even hearing snow in the general area. And, what should I say? I didn't do too much outside. My wife is making chicken tikka masala. And I opened up a bottle of Riesling Auslese, which is heavenly. It doesn't have 20 years in the bottle, but I drank all those many years ago. And I don't know if I can find anything. Ooh, I wonder what that was. The linear made a click, and then the SWR went very high. Okay, I gotta change my loading. N9 PVF.
What the heck? Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Yeah, well, that's really neat, David. You got the Riesling going there. I suggest same thing before getting on the air here on AM. Good idea. And good to hear you on. I heard you down the band a couple of days ago. It's just way too civilized down there for me. And Billy, congratulations on getting that working. I turned the loudspeakers on. You sound great. W2 very weak.
Yeah, thanks, man. I hear Ada in the background. Does it sound the same as it does on the Viking? Like just another, setup? It should.
Very, very good, Billy. And, I just got my DVD of the outlaw Josie Wales. So that quote comes from there, and I passed on my VHS. So I'm going into the modern territory. No, I like, we are of the civilized tribes. And if you remember that in Josie Wales, when we thought about it, boy, you boys are so civilized. That Chief Dan George actually was a chief, but out of Alaska. I don't want to declare war on the Union. I remember what happened to the South. So W2VW, it's good to hear you tonight. And Billy, that sounds terrific. That's an amazing sounding rig. Maybe I should look for one of those. Hopefully it's cheaper than 7,300.
Yeah, you got to get you got to find out what Billy's using there when he describes it. You'll be like, what? We've never heard this on the air before. I got to run out, put some oil in the cooker and fire it up. So let me do that. I'll put the wireless headset on. I'll be listening to you guys. But yeah, Billy, I would say that it sounds almost exactly like the Viking as far as tone, but the extreme highs, there's something about the extreme highs on this that are a little bit better. I don't know what it is, but the very extreme highs sound just slightly more live. So there you go. Running the tube tester here, so I'll be listening on a wireless headset. W2 very weak, and I mean that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I'd buy that. I'm sure that's the case. This thing's got crazy frequency response. I mean, I could probably put a square wave into this thing, and it would come out as a square wave. Couldn't do that with a Viking. So anyway, what I'm doing over here is this Roden Schwartz vector signal generator. It's like 300 kilohertz to 3.3 gigahertz, and it'll do like plus 16 dBm output. So really, really, really piss down their output. So that thing, I'm using that as an exciter, and I bought this Alinco that I've basically hijacked the PA board from, and I'm running the exciter into the PA board of this Alinco and using that to kick it up to about, I don't know, 4 or 5 watts, and that's driving a pair of LD MOS, what are they, the RF 300, I forget exactly what they are, and that kicks it up to drive my final, which is a YC156 tube, and that's the chain. But yeah, I'm using a vector signal generator as an exciter, so I can do, it's quadrature modulation. I can do independent sideband AM, all kinds of neat stuff with this thing.
Well, Billy, I think you have succeeded exceedingly well. It's incredibly nice sounding. I was hoping that you were going to tell me that the Alinco alone could do it, but it don't look like it. I'm challenged between my eyes, my shaky hands. So far, my eyes are holding up okay. If I take my particular blood pressure meds, I can solder. And I can kind of figure out some weird stuff in software. But maybe that's far above my pay grade anymore, but you do sound very, very good. This is my my TS50, which has been very slightly modified, driving the 922. And the trick I learned with the 922, courtesy of another gentleman who I haven't heard
LQA in the house
since I was up here, was I had the loading completely incorrect. So instead of running 3 or 4 on the scale, I run like 7-ish. And that stops all the sounds that sound like it's arcing. And I saw the SWR jump. I hear clicks. The disquieting thing, and I should call the guy back, but he was such a mensch, if you know what that is. When it's cooling down, I hear clicks. So my guess is something is contracting when I cool them down. So since you're not supposed to dominate the frequency, WB2 DTK Delta Tom Kilo. You know, I haven't quite memorized it yet, Billy. N9PVF, over to you.
Man, yeah, having trouble like that. I went through all that. I was trying to use a TS830S to do this interstage PA stuff, and just to get it working was ripping my hair out. I don't have a lot of time to work on it, so I just bought something and I knew it would work, modded it, and it worked. But I know what you're saying, man, messing with that. And the call sign is actually Bravo Tango Kilo, like Billy the Kid. So it's W2BTK. Yeah. It's fun, though. I haven't had a lot of time to do radio stuff lately, so getting deep into things and troubleshooting and this and that, it takes a lot out of me, and I just don't have it. But I've been trying to do what I'm doing tonight for a long time, get this rig on the air, so there you go.
Well, you've succeeded, Billy the Kid. So inquiring minds are curious. I'm retired. I used to teach biomedical engineering at Cornell. And one time the degree actually even said electrical engineering, but that was before I learned about bypass and stuff like that. But I like Billy the Kid. I think I could remember that. So what do you do when you're not given the flexibility in your life to play with circuits? Back to you.
I play with branch circuits. I'm an electrician. I'm in IBEW, Electricians Union, and I've been with this company for a while now that I'm with. I'm a foreman, so I just run around and do electrical work and, keep track of a crew of guys, really. But it's pretty, we do 10-hour days, 4 10-hour days, so I was off today. I got to play with all this crap and get it working. It's really fun. I've had this radio sitting here for almost a week. I didn't even turn it on until today, Just during the week I get home and that's it, man. I'm like, I need to chill out and not pick up a screwdriver or a soldering iron or like anything like that. Maybe a glass of wine, So that's that. But I do have a degree in music production and engineering from Berklee College of Music, and I did that for a while, like live sound engineer and stuff like that. So that's like my background. But then, I got out of that and into the electrical union. So it's a good gig, pension benefits, all that. So working towards a retirement now that I've switched my career path. So that's excellent for me. Anyway, W2BTK.
Okay, Billy the Kid, N9PVF. Yet now that you say that, I remember our discussion. I have been very fortunate in my life that I've met incredibly wonderful technicians, because I'm a piled higher and deeper. And I wanted to get heat pumps installed, and my boiler guy said, "Oh, call this guy up. He's a retired electrician." And we had a marvelous discussion. So he put a lot of very interesting stuff in. I should have brought a bigger generator or a 240. But he looked at all my stuff and he said, "No, that's not the code, that's not the code." Because I ran Romex on the ceiling, and then since everywhere else in the house it runs down from the ceiling on a piece of wood to the outlets, I did the same thing. Well, that's not code anymore. Anyway, I said, please change it. Put it all in conduit. He said, "Don't worry about it." And that was very nice of him. He said, if they complain and you sell the house, get the wire cutters out and cut the wires. But very, very good. I used to remember the difference between Y and delta When I was at Cornell, they actually taught me how to bring a 5 kilowatt generator online and match the phase with light bulbs. It's called phasing. I don't know if I could even begin to understand that anymore. But music at Berkeley. I was in Cleveland for one part 7 years, getting my doctorate in biomedical engineering. So if you need a pacemaker or a defibrillator, that was kind of where I did most of my specialty. But then again, I used to chase all sorts of weird stuff around. The last thing in my career, and I'll cut it at this, I used to stop bleeding in surgery in some of the worst tissue, which would be a torn liver, and teach everybody how to do it with 500 kilohertz oscillators. And I kid you not, the basic waveforms they use go back to Marconi and Tesla. Anyway, Billy, it sounds great. I think my wife is turning up the music, which means dinner will be on the table, but just make sure you stay away from a mid-wired 440 three-phase between Y and Delta. It blew out the entire campus at Eli Lilly and Company between the production facility downtown and where we were. And that was not their egregious, what the heck were you guys thinking? They almost electrocuted a pregnant technician the way they put the power strips on the tables. Back to W2 BTK at 9 PVF.
Oh, wow.
Whole entire neighborhood.
And Dave's back. Yeah, Dave's whole, his little branch circuit of his neighborhood is all screwed up. But yeah, oh yeah, that's, you know what they call that? They call that the bastard leg on your Delta secondary. I'm sure you remember this. Why is center tap, like everything, you know, one side, they're all grounded, and then on a Delta, they're all series, and one of the corners is brought to ground potential. So you get that bastard leg on a Delta secondary where phase to ground on two legs on, you know, a 208 or 220 secondary is going to be, you know, 110, 115, whatever, but the one leg phase to ground, the bastard leg, is going to be like, you know, 200, 210, something like that, phase to ground. So, yeah, if you get a Delta secondary, that'll blow stuff up. That's no good. It's happened before on a job where we tied in a temporary panel for everybody's power tools and all that crap, and one leg was a bastard leg, and it melted a temporary light, and then, you know, the foreman went over and pulled every third breaker out of the panel and was like, all right, problem solved. But yeah, that's funny stuff. Anyway, Dave's back. Hi, Dave. W2 BTK. And oh yeah, we talked about Eli Lilly at length because that's where we're doing electrical work right now. Anyway, what's up, Dave?
Yeah, I guess David's got dinner coming up there. Well, good to hear you guys on, and thanks for giving me a little entertainment while I was outside playing with the grilling device there, the cooking device. Yeah, good stuff. Well, hopefully somebody else will pop in here because I'm going to have to watch that thing. I've got visions of the whole thing going up in flames while I'm not attending it. It's new stuff to me. But David, you're way too talented to be on ham radio. You should be doing something else.
W2VW. Dave, very good evening to hear your comments. And, well, you might be right, but I'm retired, which means largely I don't care. But, you know, I tell you, when my primary care, who's a professor of medicine in Worcester, she sends all the versions to me. Half of them are worth my time to talk to and try to educate and explain. The other half, they just go by what it says in the textbook, and they don't have any understanding of an awful lot of stuff. I had never heard of the bastard leg, by the way, Billy, but that does explain an awful lot. So, gentlemen, and I think you probably have a little experience in this. Cornell had a hydroelectric facility. They took it apart and then they brought it back together. It's 90 kilohertz. I had one professor tell me of the time he tried to bring the generator online, and I think it was 90 kilowatts, and he had never studied phasing. I had another professor tell me his story about in a lab, and he got it all screwed up. The best story is a very skilled buddy in Cleveland when I was in graduate school. He's not an obstetrician, so he doesn't have to worry about this stuff. And he worked for the Cleveland Electric Illuminating Company. So they were the ones who got their phase off by a millionth of degrees, heated their, gotta be like a 600 kilovolt line, and it went all the way to the ground, and they hadn't cut the trees. And it shorted out, and it took the whole eastern seaboard out a couple of years ago. So it's the same company. My buddy they had a strike. He was 9 months into the strike. He'd been working continuous 24-hour overtime, on and off 6 days a week. And he had to bring 110 megawatt steam generator online. And he didn't know about phasing, and he said, "Oh, I thought I was going to die. I'd never seen arcs like go through the switching and substation." And I'm sitting there going, this is the first thing they taught us in the lab about three-phase power. How could you guys miss it? Anyway, all sorts of interesting, weird stuff. I never got to play. What I really wanted to do was play with a nuclear power plant. And, pull the rods up, pull the rods down, scram it, and see how much fun I could have knowing what the reactor could do, what the rods couldn't do. It just shuts down the radiation, and then you got to make steam. I used to know steam tables. I think that's called a Maillet diagram. But I took PChem an awful long time ago. The only useful part about that, I flew the first refrigerator on the space shuttle because I kind of understood how it worked. Oh my God, I was so close to having myself executed, but the astronauts loved it and it worked perfectly. So, I'm going to pull a switch because it's up the time. W2BW, very weak. WB to Billy the Kid. Oh, great to catch you guys again. And yes, a nice glass of wine before dinner does wonders for eloquence. N9PVF unclipped.
Yeah. That was the best entertainment I've ever had. I was out back playing with the cooker there, and I love my wireless headset. It works all the way down the street. Good stuff, David. Yeah. It's great hearing about repairing burst livers and stitching up broken electrical crap. What? It's all the same. You got your wild leg. Yeah. I think people they take meds and they get that restless leg syndrome. So that's the same thing as your delta secondary, isn't it, Billy? Great stuff. And yeah, glad you got that thing working, Billy. That's really cool. We'll have to get on that other mode later. Still running the tube tester with the same parameters, except a little less drive tonight. So I hope I'm coming in there okay. And David, great to hear you on. W2 very weak.
Yeah, see you later, David. Nice catching you out here. And yeah, motors, they call that phase rotation. You got rotation meters for that. You gotta bust that thing out and make sure you got it right. That's really scary anyway, and I don't think I would play with the control rods in a nuclear power plant. I wouldn't want to do that. It's very interesting. Maybe on like a simulation, but yeah, very, very interesting though. That would take a set of balls, to put it bluntly. Anyway, catch you later, W2BTK, and yeah, Dave. I'm pumped with this thing. It's just humming away. Everything's just peachy. So, got my highs back. Let me see. I don't know. I don't need this, but I could roll in like 3-4 dB of like some really high highs. Actually, that's not super high. What does that sound like?
Too quick to tell. Are you sure your piece of O there is normal, or are you running more than normal?
My piece of O. No, I've got all the same metering. No, it's like my normal stuff.
All right, band conditions are weird because maybe the band's gonna gonna go long. You're like fully full scale here, you know, in time. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, well, very, very, very small adjustments at the exciter, like tenths of a dBm, make pretty big changes when I get to this power level where I am. It's almost full blue, and I have minus 42.7 dBm out of the exciter right now. So everything's just loafing except the one with handles.
Oh, that's great. Oh, you're all the way down there. That's fantastic. Good stuff, man. Well done.
Yup, everything's loafing. So, you know, the Alinko Stinko, that thing's really, really low. Like, I've got the MFJ Versatuner 2 right behind that, and it's not enough to even register on the watt meters here. And that's into the little double LD MOS thing, and that ain't doing crap. So, mission accomplished. Like, it's really, really good.
Yeah, it sounds great. Wow, this is a good week for people. I mean, Travis got his amplifier working there, and that was fun. And now you've got that thing on, and so, gee, I feel inadequate. I need to fix something over here now.
You can do this on the cheap with a dual channel DDS signal generator and a couple of mixers. You know, it would be fun to play with, maybe.
Yeah, I should really look into that, because I had considered dialing up an exciter for this rig for SSB, for something a little more interesting than what it does already. And yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to our friends from 3868. Thank you, and you guys really suck at cornering. Have a nice night.
Yeah, kind of piss poor attempts there. What you for really should shout out Jerry. Jerry the radar tech. He's the man, and he's got all his videos up with, like, you know, using the dual channel VFO and just like simple mixers you can buy, and then, you know, plumbing around with SMA connector coax, you know. But if you do it that way, you need some filters or something, because it's not as peachy keen as you know, the Roday and Schwartz, which probably goes without saying.
Yeah. Well, you've got so much dynamic headroom there that you don't need forward error correction. If I was going to go to that level of complexity, I would want that. You know, almost like take one of those Roda and Schwartz exciters that I have here and modify it, because it's got all that stuff built in. You know, it can sit there and it can compute. I should really look that up and see if that'll do. Because they do all kinds of different stuff. But you know what? This is good for now. I'm good right here.
Yeah. Well, you probably do what I'm doing right now. You could probably do the AM. This is just analog mod. So to make SSB, I need to switch to Vector mod, and feed it an I and a Q. Right now, I'm just feeding one, just the I port on this thing. So like I Captain, you got Angel Music.
No, that's advanced modulation, Billy.
What advanced modulation? My apologies.
And the other mode is scientific setback.
Yeah, but we might make leaps forward with this stuff.
Well, SSB isn't the end of the world, and it's great if the people who are using it are actually doing something and learning something. If you're just sitting there plugging in crap, talking about the features and benefits of new rigs, then you might as well just shoot yourself. But if you're doing stuff with it where you're learning electronics, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. We can make it happen though. I don't know. There's probably interesting sideband. I should get my extra, see what's going on down there. But I don't know. It's like if we get on and start talking with scientific setback mode, and this exciter will pants in a non. Like it'll take its pants down and spank it. So like people need to hear that, and like it'll get like some people out of the woodwork.
There's somebody with an S8 carrier in there trying to quirm you.
Yeah, Roger 10-4 on the Pissweed carrier trying to quirm. If it becomes a problem, which I doubt it will, let me know.
I thought it might have been a buoy, like one of those buoy transmitters, so when the net is full, it sends out a signal.
Not really, but that's, I don't know. I think I hear it.
Let's see, according to my S-meter, it's exactly 10,000 times weaker than you are, if my S-meter is correct. I haven't calibrated it in a while, though.
10,000 times? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, so if they're running 1 watt, they need 10,000 watts to keep up with you. That would be correct.
Is learning.
Hey, it's Clark. Hi, Clark. Happy Friday.
Darn right. What's going on in the hood, folks?
Did you hear Billy? Have you been listening to Billy?
Negatory. Just got back, just put the receiver on and heard you folks.
Well, hey Clark. Hi. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I missed you, bud.
I've been around. What have you been doing?
A lot of working and stuff.
See, that's good. Make that cash. Pays for the stuff you like to do.
And speaking of...
Yeah. What? Speaking of what?
So, Clark, when's the last time you heard anybody on here put something on the air that's really cool, that they've been working on for a long time? It has been that long, hasn't it?
Still there, Clark?
Yeah. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, did you miss that?
I did.
I wonder why. What happened? Did your phone ring?
Maybe you were transmitting over me, so I missed it.
Oh, I made it double with you. I'm sorry if I doubled with you. I'm not listening on a remote receiver or any of the other stuff. I said, this is W2VW, by the way. I said, when's the last time you heard somebody on here who was working on something really, really cool for a long time finally get it running?
That's always cause for celebration. Hang on a second. Let me get something to drink. Oh, here it is. I'm all set. What's the celebration?
I got my quadrature modulated exciter rig on the air.
Oh, is this that signal generator? Did you get an amp to bring it up to spec?
Yeah, I got a little rice box, and I hijacked the PA, and I used Comark TV Exciter plumbing, and it's like really nice. You just kind of plug in the back with the output of the Sig Gen, and away you go. 0 to 40 watt AM carrier. Do whatever you want with it.
So you're using it linearly, or how much power do you need to? I mean, couldn't you use that as an exciter for a big transmitter?
Yeah, you could do that too, but yeah, I'm doing it linearly. Like, it's just straight up, the RF output of this Roden Schwartz at minus 42.7 dBm, which is where it is right now, just being amplified up by a few stages. It's pretty neat.
So is that what you're using now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, hell, you don't need to do anything else. You got a 20-something over signal.
Yeah, we're running right now. So I've been trying to do this for a while, but the neat thing about it, Clark, is now I can do any mode. And not just like any mode that you'd get on a rice box, like any mode that you could think of. So it's pretty sweet. And you can do all kinds of shenanigans with it. Make your waterfall display, say stuff,
Why don't you broker it out? Put on like a subcarrier and sell it to, or rent it out to Books for the Blind or something. You just get. I mean, it'd be a good way to get some cash using ham radio.
That's true. I could, I could, and I can transmit on, let's say 3875 and 3885 at the same time with two different, signal, two different program materials, and that would be sweet. And you could do it all in independent sideband stereo.
So, that's pretty cool. So you could actually have two mics there, two ops, and you just have to make sure you key up at the same time, and you can do two. Now, see, that would be fun to just check out and see how it sounds. You have to key up together, but you'd be on two different frequencies doing independent content. I mean, there's a QST article right there. Well, maybe.
Well, I could do it with this rig pretty easily, actually. You just need a program using GNU Radio. And you can do all kinds of crap with that.
All right, well, okay, so now that the cover is off, congratulations. I know you've been wanting to do that. That's really cool. So, what's the rig that's doing the amplificating?
It's an Alinco DX SR8.
What are you running tonight? KC2RGW.
I'm running my Alinco DX SR8.
Kind of.
Modify it for wider audio.
Wait, what?
I'm confused. So you're using that as the transmitter or just as an RF source?
I'm using it as an amplifier, an interstage amplifier. The main board of the rice box is disconnected.
Oh, okay. Got it. Evening, guys. The band actually seems like it's working right now.
What?
Uh-oh, the background noise is going away.
That's all right.
They killed the band.
You know what that's like? It's like a tsunami warning. When all of a sudden the water just disappears from the beach and the harbor dries up. It's like, that's weird. And then the next thing is you get shellacked.
I'm fighting with a chicken, so I can't transmit, folks. Have fun. I'll be listening. I'll be back. W2 very weak. Hi, Chris.
All right, Dave, don't burn the chicken. Clark, Louis N9GTO says hello via Twitch.
Is he twitchy? He should take some pills for that.
Twitch.
Oh, and hey to Chris out there. I'm hearing you, but for whatever reason, yeah, it's wacky conditions.
Yeah, I give these conditions D-.
Yeah, Billy and Dave are really coming in heavy, so it must be on the longer side.
Yeah, no, you guys are fine. It's very funny.
So, I'm just kind of curious. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but why 71 tonight?
71's a great place to be, you know. There's a lot of good stuff happens here, but look, I can finally do this, Clark. Look, I'm or I could be hello, Viffo, and yeah, I've never been able to do that from sitting in my chair before.
I still can't do it, so you're way ahead of where I'm at.
Word.
Yeah, write letters and stuff.
W-E-R-D. Word.
Oh, that word.
Yeah, no, but I know what you're talking about. That's one of my favorite memes.
I use that to make my day better. If I ever got down, I just look at that and be like, okay, I'm better.
Write letters and shiz, yo.
That's it.
Dave said my highs sound better with this than they do with the Viking. Like, I've just got a little bit better frequency response. Are you hearing that?
It's very clean and clear.
You sounded good on the Viking. I don't know if it's different. Dave may have a better, AB in his mind. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard you not sound good, so I don't have much to compare it to.
Yeah, it's real clean and clear here as far as the high.
Whoop. I just had some kind of a poot out. That was weird. But thank you. It's just, it's, you should look this thing up. It's crazy. The Roden Schwartz, SM, what the hell is this thing? SMIQ, no, it's the SMQ03B.
It's very familiar. I think you sent me a picture of it, so I almost picture it. I'd probably have to go back through my phone. Where is my phone? Oh, don't tell me I have to call it now. I hate that. No, I know it's around here somewhere because I'm restoring a 1936, as it turns out, tabletop radio. A friend gave it to me last night, and he said he didn't know if it worked or not, but I was going to throw it out, and then he's like, well, I'll give it to Clark. See, I'm like the rescue guy for old radios. So, tried it out, and I actually got it working, but I was taking pictures of it, and I think that must be near where my phone is. Talking to you guys now, but anyways, that's the highlight of my evening right now, or early evening. Oh, you know what? N1 BCG, see, and now it's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I'll chime in too. November 2, Mike Purple Vector.
KC2 RGW on the ID train.
W2BTK.
Yeah, so that's the same vector signal generator you've been running for a while. You just haven't, just brought it back up because your old intermediate amplifier died. Now you have a new one. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I can finally run it, at the correct power levels and everything. Basically exactly what I was doing with the Viking, but now it's instead of plate modulated or quadrature modulated, low level, linear amplified.
Sounds like you'd have some Part 15 stuff there too with Big Clam AM.
I missed some of that. You said something about Part 15?
Oh yeah, sounds like they're doing C-Clam AM on Part 15 there, basically AM stereo. You know, just listening to guys there talk about that. And there's a guy that's named Sean Cuthbert. He makes C-Clam AM radio kits, transmitting kits, and I'm also having a ball with some of his kids there doing that, and I'm going to see about making a carrier current coupler for that thing. And the idea is to plug and play and have carrier current operation in like an apartment complex. Kind of like what it is there for a wireless intercom system, except for the medium wave band. Hey, yeah, carrier current's a loophole, so we might as well use it here. Anyway, I'm just hearing you guys kind of over everything here, and hello to Clark, who I don't think I've spoken to since either the Heavy Metal Rally or the AM Rally back in February. So, I've been back in here, and I finally got a little bit of juice. I've got an amp behind it. Finally! November 2, Mike Delta Victor over here. This man over here near the capital region of West Virginia.
Yeah, cool, man. That's C-Quam. I don't know about C-Quam. Well, probably, but I know ISB is really easy to do. And yeah, it would go right down there. The exciter is 300 kilohertz to 3.3 gigahertz, so, and continuous. So it just, you know, anywhere really. You just need to change a lot of tank circuits or whatever you need to do, different amps. But it only puts out very, 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 very low power, so it's kind of inconvenient. It's the only inconvenient thing about it, anyway.
Can you make a video of that align call on 2 gigahertz later for me, Billy?
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see what the frequency response is like on that. If you put that up to 2 gigahertz, that'd be really cool.
I don't think I can use the Alinco anymore at that point.
Yeah, let me make an adjustment here if you don't mind. Hello. Hello, 5. There we go. It's nighttime, so I need to adjust the nighttime pattern.
I'll bet that exciter wasn't a Hamfest find, was it?
No, my buddy Jerry gave it to me. He does like radar technician work. He had a couple of them, I guess, and it was floating around. He's like, yeah, you can have this one, because he heard us talking about, I guess that night me and Daniel were talking about stereo AM and stuff. He was like, yo, like, you can have this thing if you want. He was on his way up somewhere up, I guess, in Pennsylvania, and he met me at a Walmart and like handed me the thing and was like, all right, here you go. And he's got a cool YouTube channel with all kinds of stuff about you know, Vector Sig Gens and making different you know, the AM on 2 different frequencies with independent programming. Like, he's got a video all about that. He's the guy who showed me all that crap.
All right, so we learned 2 things from that transmission you just made. Number 1, the art and spirit of being a ham fairy, you know, is alive and well. And number 2, it is amazing what you can find at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, I was talking to these 2 guys that are they're like big time like DX window guys down the band, and I heard them talking, and they bought a Roden Schwartz, like actually paid for one of the SDR transceivers they sell. They're like $30,000. So I've heard like, I think 3 hams now saying that they're running the Roden Schwartz SDR transceivers. I forget the model series, but they're like 30 grand.
Yes, that company is like the Maserati of RF equipment manufacturers, test equipment manufacturers. It is not for the faint of finance.
Oh, come on, Clark. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's like you can just find surplus Rode and Schwartz crap all over.
Yeah, it only took WNBC 10 years to buy an ETL for me. Only 10 years, so it's not that bad. Yeah. I never used it.
We'll have the ARL do a product review of one of those. Maybe we can, generate some ham radio interest in those.
Yeah, that's a good business model, Clark.
Hey, niche market.
The company I work for used to do Wi-Fi devices, and they set up a Tempest lab room in an office building, full Faraday cage, the whole thing, with full bench equipment in it. And the one guy that knew how any of it worked just quit, and that room just sat there. And there was an Agilent Spectrum service monitor in there, and it took all I had not to just take that thing home, because it's literally sitting in an office building that no one understands the value of the thing. And, if I wasn't an honest guy, I would have had that thing. No one would have even noticed.
But once it's a certain age, it drops off the tax radar, and that's when no one really cares. W2VW on the left-hand side of the AM window.
And that's where you pass it. The most impressive test room, screen room, Chris, like that I've seen, it actually is at the League, where they do their product review testing. To say that they've got everything is truly an understatement. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Mr. Frequency's in yours. Thanks for asking.
The bulletins and the code practice and all that right there, running full legal limit on 6 bands simultaneously. And you can go in that room, close the door behind you, which is all like, I guess, shielded copper screening or more than that, who knows. But anyway, close that door, seal yourself in, and you get nothing. You can't get W1AW. Very impressive facility.
Yeah, this was nowhere near that sophisticated, but it worked. And I've been in one built for a government agency that was like that. The door was like a vault door, and it was basically EMP proof. It was made for the end of days, and that was pretty neat. Basically nothing gets through it, so your phone is dead. It's funny how everything complains too. KC2RGW.
I figure then that would be designed for when Billy gets his extra class ticket. That would be the end of days.
Maybe. I took my filters out, so my S's and T's are very wide. But I'm going to put them back in right after this transmission. I just wanted to see what it would do. And that's, hello. Wow.
You actually should get your extra. I mean, it's not for everyone. It's not for me. But you should, because that would basically give you the gold card access to all the, like frequent flyer lounges, every frequency there is. I mean, you can basically go wild.
Buck wild with ham radio, amateur radio. I'm having fun with this rig. This is nice. It's been creeping up just a little bit in output, but I've been changing it by tenths of a dBm, kind of keeping it in check. It's the only thing that's a little funny with it. Yeah, this is nice. I've been trying to get my extra forever, man. It'll happen one day. W2 BTK on Montana Mountain.
I'll tell you what, you got the strongest signal here in West Virginia.
Whoa. That's kind of surprising.
I don't know. A little bit long. That was just the capital region of but anyways. So, all right. Kind of wonder if I've talked to you beforehand when I used to work up there in Two-Land. Needless to say, my two codes kind of felt like a sore thumb down here. Not in a bad way, I guess. Yeah, November 2, Mike Delta Victor. And by the way, got Phil over here.
Did you say Phil or Bill? I got you, Mike Delta Victor. Not sure. Yeah, down there it's New Jersey. Huh. Wait, but what was it, Bill, Phil?
Yeah, Phil, Papa, Hotel, India, Lima. An easy way to remember my call, not to mention deep vaginas.
There you go. Nice. Huh. Yeah. Well, cool, Phil. I'm testing out maiden voyage for not maiden voyage, but real first test of full strap on the air with this rig, which we've been talking about for a while. You probably heard.
Yeah, I've got finally tuned you guys up here when I found your down this loser and giving it a shot. And using this thing, I got a full day trial of this right box onto a 811. He's been working quite well, and running 12 watts off the TS2000X. I'm going to run 1.2 gigs out of the rig here, but got the higher microphone to it, an HMM microphone, and 12 watts going into an AR811. You do the thing, Tim, and from the A1 HLR for recommending me this setup, and it's working pretty good. And I had to change the baling in the car out there too to take the power off, but putting baling that I had out there wasn't going to handle the extra power, but so far so good, and I think it's a winner. Yay!
Very cool. Clark, are you hearing Phil out there?
Yes, sir. He's about S8, S9 up in the southern New Hampshire as well.
Oh, I just had another poot out. Phil, seems like you're doing good.
Running wide bandwidth on my receive.
Wait, what? What? Hello?
Oh, you didn't hear that? I'm hearing about 3 conversations out there, but I'm running wide bandwidth on my receive. I'm running about a 10 kc bandwidth, and I think I really need to narrow it here because there's about, like I said, about 3 other conversations I'm hearing besides you guys.
Oh, I'm listening what is this? 17.25 kilohertz overall receive bandwidth. It's not really bothering me, but you're doing pretty well here. Everyone, the other two, Chris and Clark, are very strong here. So.
Oh yeah, I've talked to Clark before, and like I said, I think it's been since the AM rally or the heavy metal rally since then. So, but I kind of got this set up here so I can go bother Tim again. WA1HLR. Yeah, Key and I have a little bit of fun talking about radio, Part 15 radio stuff, including the carrier current stuff. He gave me his carrier current adventures there too, and another friend of mine is running AM stereo carrier current over around Pittsburgh, and he's building everything from ground up. Well, he is using LPB coupler, and I'm using radio systems for a coupler down here with what I've got. But we're seeing how somebody just plug and play can just quickly can just put a station together and just go right through an apartment complex and go through a park, go through a parking lot. Just a plug and play AM carrier. About social distancing. I think it can be done. It can be fun.
Did you say someone's using an LPB coupler?
Yeah. Well, I've got one also. I've got a T8. I'm not using it right for this. I'm not using it for carrier current, but a friend of mine over in Pittsburgh.
Holy cow, I'm very familiar with the T8.
There you go.
Well, I mean, it's really not. I mean, it's designed for matching into 2 ohms, in the broadcast band, but no, it's interesting. I never thought about using it on anything other than a carrier current application.
Well, that's where I am using it for a while. That's what he's using his. I've also got a radio system GP15 with that Zep by Lightning. The TR20 was just nuts. I could put my thumb right through all the power supply and the panel board on the main oscillator. But, yeah, so that thing was garbage totally when I got a hold of it. But the GP15 coupler, hey, I was able to go and reconstruct that. And I've got that on the air right now on 610 kilohertz carrier current.
Gotcha.
Wasn't it a David Bowie song?
Wasn't it what?
The CB315 or something?
Why do you always reference music?
What's it to you, Bubba?
Hey, Mikey. I'm on the air with my Alinco tonight.
Sounding mighty fine. Hello, Clark and Billy and that guy Dave.
You know what I heard on here before? It was funny. There's some contesters getting ready for the contest. I guess it's coming up real soon. And these guys just got on and like plunked right down on top of 4 QSOs. It was kind of funny. And then they moved up 3 kilohertz and wrecked another QSO. And they were going on. The guy was going on and on about phasing antennas. And he sounded very intelligent. And I'm thinking to myself, here's the last guy who knows how to make a stub. And he's that talented, he doesn't know how to find a clear frickin' frequency.
A shorted stub or an open stub?
I couldn't, I really don't know. It wasn't a stub. He just called it a stub. And I thought to myself, yep, this is what it's come to.
Is that what all crap I was hearing in the background? Well, that might explain it.
No, not here. There's some unhappy people. They don't really count, so I'm not going to talk about them. But anyway, no, they're just getting ready for the contest. And, they show up on the band and try out their stuff, which is cool, as long as you find a clear frequency. But that doesn't matter.
My theory is that a contest essentially is just people screaming on top of each other with no, clear frequencies. They just tune up wherever and start yelling. And that's the only operating they do, and they don't actually understand what a clear frequency is. That's my most polite theory.
No, the successful contesters, the ones who actually score, don't do that. You won't hear any of those guys like here. You just won't. It's the loser wannabe contesters that you hear doing that.
I thought contesting was FCC sanctioned quorming.
Anyway, this is W2 Very Weak, and the preceding was an editorial.
Boy, that's for sure.
Well, everything I do is an editorial, but you knew that, Clark.
Through a worsening heart failure, contesting can aggravate that condition. KC2RGW. Speak up, Chris.
Contesting, well, it does bad things, blows up people's plate transformers and stuff. W2 BTK.
And it's gonna crap out, man. Oh, it's just about there.
Yes, you guys are all 40 over, so the big dump is about to happen.
Dumpy.
111.
Oh, wow, check that out. Yeah, Chris, you went from 40 over to 15 over.
I'm only running my peanut whistle, too. It's only 150 watts. The band is so fickle.
Yeah, I don't really have much more power than that myself. In the logarithmic sense.
You guys will get a kick out of this one. I picked up a new microphone just for fun because I was bored. So I picked up a Shure Beta 87A, and it has kind of a funky frequency response. It's a handheld vocal condenser mic, popular, stage vocal for female vocals. I've used them a million times, and man, I like the response in my voice. I didn't have to dump out so much. happy at it, like 80% dialed in, and I go to 40 meters, and that thing was shreds. I swapped the microphone, the 421 in, 41 mix bead right on the tail of the microphone. So go figure. So brand new microphone, no good. What a pain in the neck.
I guess that could happen to anybody.
It's really funny that way. I go through a lot of microphones just monkeying around, and I've definitely found some that are really susceptible compared to others.
Just don't send it to Mike Daddy, whatever you do. I thought this Linko was no good, because, Dave, I sent you that picture where I was checking out the connector. I hadn't even powered the thing up at that point. I was just looking at it. And then I went to actually test it, and I had forgotten to put that connector back in and closed it up. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, this is going crazy. I was like, finally checked out. I was like, oh, crap.
Oh, that's pretty neat, man. Yeah, we might have to flip over to SSB and get out of the, go down to 69 or something like that and get out of the AM window.
Yeah, you can do that. I have to do a little bit of plumbing over here. We could do that. I haven't fired up that new radio in a while. Might take a second.
Yeah, I gotta eat dinner anyway, so let me know when you're ready, and we can stay on here. I think we can work each other no matter what the band does here with the miracle of thermionic emission. So I'm gonna go outside, pull my chicken back out, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for the fine business, QSO. And I'll be back on another mode, but don't tell anybody. W2 very weak.
I pretty much moved to New Hampshire so that I could just walk outside and pull my chicken whenever I wanted. Catch up to you later
Yeah, see you later, Dave. And yeah, like Chris said, be careful when you're pulling your chicken out outside. So, talk to you later. W2 BTK on Montana Mountain.
Now just as well, I'm going to slide up to 385.
Pretty well crowded down here with the flat bucket guys.
Catch y'all later. Yeah, it's on DV, QSI. At least we're going to try.
Yeah, have a good night there, Phil. You're on the edge for me. I didn't know if you could hear me, but you're making it southern New Hampshire, so nice meeting you in here. I think I'm going to go to sideband on 3870 and then complain about how noisy the band is.
Yeah, all right. See you later, Phil. See you later, Chris. And what is this contest that's going on coming up?
It's the Cars for Kids special event weekend.
Oh, no!
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Cars for Kids. K with a K. K-A-R-S. Cars for Kids.
Nice, Chris.
Calling all cars. K-A-R-S. Calling all cars.
I want COVID to be over so that we can have an AM summit, meet in a nice diner somewhere, get a bunch of waffles. I've about had it with COVID.
Yeah, I don't... it sucks. It sucks, like, at work, That's where it really sucks, because you gotta mask up. You gotta have all your PPE, your goggles, and your hard helmets, and your all that crap, and you're huffing and puffing up down a ladder, and it sucks. But whatever. Yeah, I'm sick of it too.
I can't imagine having to work in PPE, man. That's a drag. Dinner's on the table, man. Billy, nice to hear you. Clark, nice to hear you too. And Dave, take it easy on that chicken. 7-3 for now. KC2RPW.
Yeah, all right. See you later, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, we got to put on, the astronaut suit when we're turning off breakers and crap at this place. It's nutty.
The Astro suit.
Yeah, the arc flash suit. Which, by the way, you can't see anything or really like feel anything when you're in that.
It's not about comfort.
Yeah, but you know, when you're inside a switch gear or panel or something, like it kind of helps to have dexterity and you know, full vision.
Yeah, I just swing that wrench around and see what happens.
Yeah, for real. Boom! That's what happens. Big bada boom.
Oh, what's the worst that can happen with some of those breaker panels?
A couple thousand amps. Wow, how bad could that be? It's only 480 volts. Not even, you know, it's just like piddly voltage.
See, this is what happens. You get on this frequency and hear all this wah, 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 wah. That's like the Peanuts teacher.
Just darn sidebenders. Tell them to get down on their own frequency.
Learn the code!
Actually, the code is a great thing to learn. You should give it a shot. That's, I find it to be very handy.
Learn the code!
Seriously, check out, what is it? AA9PW, Alpha 9 Papa Whiskey. That has got to be the best by far website I've ever used for learning CW.
I wish that was my call sign, then I could be piss weak. WZAJ.
Nice.
Howdy. Clark, the best one I ever saw was, it was a chat room, right? And you could like type and it came up as text in the chat. Like you could say like, hello, this is W2BTK. And it would be there in text, but you couldn't like type the text with a keyboard. You could only use the space bar, and it had to be Morse code, you know. And then the text would come up in the chat, and that was the most fun I ever had, you know, with Morse code.
Are you serious? There was, now that you mentioned that, I thought you were talking about this site that, what the hell was it? Oh, damn, it's like a year or two ago. There was something about Morse code, but it turned into a mess. Like, people were just sending a bunch of noise. This is not that, right?
No, yeah, I think you like went to the website. This was a couple years ago when me and my buddy were messing with it, and we were just like, we could barely do Morse code, but like, you know, we were kind of hanging in there and saying stuff, and we would just say stuff like farts over and over again because like we memorized those letters or whatever. It was a lot of fun, and it was a complete mess. I think when you showed up, like everybody was just like typing crap and farts and stuff like that.
Now, I don't even remember what that site was, but I thought it had potential, but then people were just there, you know, screwing around. So that sounds like the same place.
Yeah, probably. It was mostly me and my buddy, KC2DGP. He doesn't get on here much. Oh, is that the site? Nick posted the... I gotta change my pie hole settings.
Of like the snoring dog net, and give them Vox control over the transmitter.
What?
Exactly.
He said the site was morsecode.me.
You know, all I need to do is go on QRZ and do a search for Morse posted by my call sign, and I'll bet I'll find it, because I remember posting that, and actually people were kind of interested in it, but then they started dissing it, saying, oh, there's a bunch of people just screwing off, and then the thread was lost.
I got pretty fast at typing farts in Morse code.
Well, that's handy. That'll get you contacts on the air. Or you could apply for the call sign. Oh no, you wouldn't be in the U.S., but what? FA4TS.
Eh.
Yeah, no, it's a stretch.
Band's very long.
Oh, time to get those Come on, folks. These are waning moments to get in on this riveting cruise.
I'm going to check back in here. Man, I got myself a deep fried chicken and some fries, and they're perfect. Perfect. All right. I don't care about some dumbass slop buckets on 70 that show up here no matter who's here. There's a new sheriff in town. Talk to you guys later. W2 very weak. Thanks for the entertainment.
Oh, no wonder you were nervous. You're deep frying chicken. Wow, nice. Enjoy, man.
Yeah, I'm actually deep frying the chicken with my final here. I've got an oil-cooled final I'm circulating around the tube, which is why I need to transmit.
Oh.
What, the chicken's a little underdone, so you gotta key up and say a few things?
Yeah, like, hey, Clark, it's nice talking to you.
Yeah, like throwaways.
Hey, remember back when Cousin Lucy was around?
And you're
Anyway, see you guys later. W2 very weak.
Yeah, see you later, Dave. It's Clark, it's like keying up, just saying your call sign or whatever, like we all do. W2ENY, what's up?
Yeah, Billy, I haven't talked to you in a dog's age. Anyway. Oh, man, I was sitting outside by the fire pit for a little while. It was beautiful out today. It was great. I even spent a couple hours on the boat just hanging out, doing nothing, having a couple of Lone Rock ponies. Good times, man. Other than that, same SLC, you know?
Yeah, the echo sounds cool. I haven't been on a lot, man. Been going crazy at work. They gave me a little bump up to foreman, so I've been running around with that, like very exhausted every day. Trying to learn the ropes. It's my first time doing that, being in a position like that, at least doing this kind of crap. So, I got my my Vector Sig Gen on the air tonight, not using the Viking. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to be listing some stuff on eBay or QTH or something soon. I got a whole pile of stuff. I bought out this guy's estate sale in Sea Island, and oh my God, I want to say like Valiants, Viking 2s, Rangers, Johnson Mobile. My wife has been like all over my ass to get rid of some of this stuff. It's taken up like not half of the basement, but like 1/3 of the basement. And anyway, let's get my stuff together. and deal with that. Got a few 930 projects, like 6, that I've been working on here and there, and for sideband radios, not so much AM, but anyway, yeah, I've been busy here, and yeah, I got some antenna testing I got to do next week down in Dayton, New Jersey. It's like down by New Brunswick somewhere. It's going to be like 3 days worth, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I am like already dreading the drive home on Wednesday. So, work is busy. Good thing is no travel, no airplanes, no junk like that. So I'm pretty thankful for that. W2 BTK, and I'm not sure who else is in here. I thought I heard Clark in here earlier. This is W2 Moonlight.
Yeah, all right, man. No, Clark's in here. There's a couple others in here as well.
Yeah, I'm running the Flex 6300. 150 watts power. So, anyway, I want to start playing with the Ranger again, man. The Ranger's got some weird issue where like the vehicle appears that it's spinning on when I flip the switch, and so I've been flipping it into crystal. Got a standby that I have that and then having the field back up. Switch back over to that. I was talking to the guy losing we were kind of going back and forth, and he was talking about replacing a 66, which I think is pretty cool. It's got a 60 watt valve with pretty mobile setting. I've been kind of cultivating I came home in the backyard last week. So I missed the whole story, but anyhow, something else I really capture every day. I think that might be.
The band's very, very long. W2BTK.